All right, y'all. What is up? Welcome into yet another day of picking baseball games. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Yesterday, guys, we went 10-6. I'm not gonna say we're back quite yet, but we are getting there. Some more MLB trades went down. All that today in today's MLB picks. Let's get to it. Getting things started with the trade deadline. We're gonna go to where the Chicago Cubs were able to get Nate Pearson in exchange for Josh Rivera and Yohendrick Palankio. I think that's how you say his name. Next trade of the day, we have the Brewers getting Nick Mears, who's a right-handed pitcher, in exchange for Bradley Balalock and Eugenio Herrera. Interesting trade. This was the big trade of the day. Jazz Chisholm going to the New York Yankees in exchange for Austin Ramirez, Jared Serena, and Abraham Ramirez. Honestly, crazy that Jazz Chisholm went to the New York Yankees for his locker room problems, because Jazz Chisholm, if you guys know, he has a lot of locker room problems. He had a lot of locker room problems in Miami, and him going to the New York Yankees, he's going to get ripped on. I think this is the downfall of Jazz Chisholm going to the Yankees. Next trade, the Phillies get Carlos Estevez in exchange for Samuel Algeria and George Clayson. Not bad. And finally, the Red Sox are actually starting to make a move. Danny Jansen, catcher/middle infielder, going to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for Cutter Coffee, Edison Paulino, and Gilberto Batista. Interesting trade, Danny Jansen. They're probably going to slot him in at second base because we're very, very uncertain at that position, and we don't really need catcher because we already have two. We already have Reese McGuire and Connor Wong. So yeah, I think that's what happens. Next trade of the day, Jesse Winker going to the New York Mets in exchange for Tyler Stewart. I mean, the Mets fleeced. Jesse Winker was having an awesome season, and they got him for just a right-handed pitching prospect that probably won't make it to the major leagues ever. I mean, that's a great trade. That's a great value for the New York Mets. And that is all we have for today in terms of trades. Let's hop into today's picks. Getting things started, guys, with the Peacock Sunday MLB leadoff. The Cincinnati Reds taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll be taking the Reds today. I mean, Hunter Green is really starting to figure it out lately, and I do like the Reds today. I'll be taking the Reds after yesterday's loss. Our next game, the San Diego Padres taking on the Baltimore Orioles. How do you pick against the San Diego Padres? They are white hot, no less, against a slipping Orioles team. Albert Suarez, his last time out, did not have a good start, and I'm just liking what the Padres have been doing lately. Randy Vasquez is actually starting to figure it out. Yeah, it's so tough to pick against the San Diego Padres. All right, our next game between the Cleveland Guardians and the Philadelphia Phillies. Two pitchers making their season debut, but before we get to that pick, I saw something very, very interesting from Austin Hayes. It was his first press conference with Philly. He said something very interesting. Play cut 19.
One is that's probably everything you could ask for as a player, to go from one winning team to another winning team. And there's not very many teams you could feel like you're upgrading in a way from where you were when your team was in first place. But that's how I feel. I feel like I'm coming into a place where we have an even better chance of winning a World Series. So.
Okay, so talk about really slapping your former team in the face without actually doing it. I mean, I think he was trying to portray that, like, oh yeah, get me the hell out of here. The Orioles aren't doing crap, kind of thing. I don't know. People didn't really take that the wrong way, but I thought it was very, very interesting. I thought him portraying that he was excited to be a Philadelphia Philly was a great thing. But then the last part that he said about we have a better chance of winning the World Series here than where he formerly was definitely a slap in the face to all his Baltimore Orioles teammates, where he claimed he liked it there. Very, very interesting. Let's get right back to the pick. Two pitchers making their season debuts today. I'm going to be going with the team that won 8-0 yesterday. That team's the Philadelphia Phillies, so give me them to win today. Our next game, the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Texas Rangers. Right now, with how good the Blue Jays have been this series against the Texas Rangers, it's so tough to pick against the Toronto Blue Jays. No less with Jose Barrios on the mound today, because he has been really good lately. And for that, I'll be taking the Blue Jays. Quick pick there. Next game, the Minnesota Twins taking on the Detroit Tigers. Bailey Ober is on the mound for the Minnesota Twins. Alex Fedio, he's 5-1 with a 3.47 ERA. I will be taking the Minnesota Twins today because of Bailey Ober. He's been disgusting lately. And in his last time out, he shut out the Phillies through 7 innings. Yeah, I'll be taking the Twins easily. Our next game, the Atlanta Braves taking on the New York Mets. Ronaldo Lopez in his last time out against the Cincinnati Reds, he got pounded for 4 runs in 5 innings. And in Reynaldo Lopez terms, that'd be a normal pitcher giving up 8 runs in 2 innings, because Reynaldo Lopez has been so good this season. But yeah, I don't know. The Mets are still rolling. They had a bad day yesterday, and Spencer Sketch-Wellenbeck for the Atlanta Braves, he had a great time out. But the Mets have David Peterson, who's been probably their best start of the season. 5-0, 3.14 ERA. I will be taking the Mets today because of that. Next game, the Chicago Cubs taking on the Kansas City Royals. Cole Reagans is on the mound for the Cubs against Javier Assad. I can't trust Javier Assad. I think he's one of the biggest frauds, and he's been one of the biggest frauds this season. He continues to a lot of walks by Javier Assad, and the Royals are the best at drawing walks. They have the most walks this season by any baseball team in the MLB. For that, though, I'll be taking the Kansas City Royals. Next game, the Dodgers taking on the Houston Astros. I will be taking the Houston Astros because, I mean, what a win by the Houston Astros yesterday. Alex Bregman walk-off home run. That was great. Yeah, Astros came back from down 5-0 to win 7-6, and I think that continues today. River Ryan he already made one start, and he was great against the San Francisco Giants, but he did give up a couple of runs, so it ended up being a no decision for River Ryan. But I will still be taking the Houston Astros because they are rolling right now. Next game, the Seattle Mariners taking on the Chicago White Sox. I will be taking the Mariners. They are absolutely rolling. Randy Rosarena is undefeated as a Seattle Mariner. That's another good metric to look at. Yeah, the Seattle Mariners are rolling right now. There's no doubt about it. They got a 10-0 win, and then they got another close win yesterday on primetime. I will be taking the Seattle Mariners. Bryce Miller is so tough. He's 7-7 with 3.41 ERA, and his numbers, I think, are better than that stat line, and so is Garrett Crochet. I think this game is going to be really, really close, very low scoring. I will still be taking the Seattle Mariners today because they are on a roll. The Mariners are back, guys. Next game, the Miami Marlins taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Marlins, they got Jazz out of there. I think that's what you needed to do. Even though Jazz Chisholm was probably their best player, I think that's what you had to do. You had to get him out of there somehow. And it feels impossible to pick against the Miami Marlins with how good they have been lately. And the Milwaukee Brewers are definitely slipping. They've lost the first two to the Miami Marlins this series. Tobias Myers on the mound. He's been really good this season, but the Marlins are absolutely rolling right now. I mean, give me the Miami Marlins to grab a win today. Next game, the Washington Nationals taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. DJ Hurst is on the mound against Miles Michaelis. I am liking the Washington Nationals to grab a win today. The Nationals got a massive win, 14-3. Yeah, it doesn't really matter though. The Nationals, they've won the first two games of this series handily, very, very easily, and I think that continues into today with the National sweep. Next game, the Colorado Rockies taking on the San Francisco Giants. I will be taking the Colorado Rockies, actually, as my underdog pick of the day today. And here's why. The Giants have been just dominated by the Colorado Rockies. There's no doubt about it, but even though the Giants did dominate yesterday, and to be honest, I can't trust Jordan Hicks right now. Jordan Hicks is going to, I said to you guys, Jordan Hicks is going to hit an absolute wall the second half of the season, and that has already started to play in. And the Rockies have dominated Jordan Hicks already. They've tagged him for 9 earned runs and 2 starts. It just doesn't look good for Jordan Hicks whenever he's facing the Rockies. And Austin Gomber, despite him not being as good, he definitely has been better lately. He has definitely been actually not bad. I will be taking the Colorado Rockies today as my underdog pick of the day. Next game, the Oakland Athletics taking on the Los Angeles Angels. I will be taking the Oakland A's today. Jose Soriano on the mound. He looks like he's going to get traded for some value. And Jose Soriano has been pretty good this season. There's no doubt about it. But the A's, again, they just own the Angels. The A's won yesterday. They proved me wrong again. And whenever I pick the A's, they win. Whenever I pick against the A's, whenever they're playing the Angels, they win. It's just how it is. So give me the A's to grab a sweep. You know what? Let's make that my lock of the day. The Oakland A's over the Los Angeles Angels, my lock of the day. Screw it. All right, second to last game of the day, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mitch Keller is on the mound today against Yeber Diaz. I will be taking the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's no doubt about it. The Arizona Diamondbacks are playing so much better baseball lately, and it looks like the Diamondbacks can make a playoff push. They won again yesterday, 9-5. Mitch Keller, he has been very, very good this season, but I don't think it really matters, though, with the Diamondbacks absolutely ruling right now. There's no doubt that the Diamondbacks are going to grab another win today and sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last game of the day, ESPN Sunday Night Primetime, the New York Yankees taking on the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox blew it yesterday. They were up 8-6 in the 8th inning, 8-7 in the ninth, and Kenley couldn't close it out. Really tough game. Bullpen's very, very not rested, and I think both teams could use a strong outing from their starter because no one wants to use their bullpen today because they're just so not rested. I will be taking the Boston Red Sox today. Carlos Rodon he still hasn't been good. He definitely hasn't been good. He rose his ERA from 2.3 to 4.42 in the last month. There's no doubt that he hasn't been good lately. And Tanner Houck against the Boston Red Sox, in 2 starts, he's only given up 1 earned run. So I do like the Boston Red Sox to grab a win today. No less, the Red Sox are 2-0 against the Yankees on ESPN Sunday Night Primetime. And I just can't trust Carlos Rodon with how bad and inconsistent he has been against other teams and the Boston Red Sox. Guys, that will do it for this one, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Make sure you guys go check out my IG at Big Four Sports Podcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.